I didn't really go through a boy band phase. Now that I think about it,
No?
I don't think so. I think there was like a window for boy bands. I was like post New Kids on the Block, but pre. I fit right into the there was like a vacuum of boy bands, which would have hit me in the sweet spot. Did you have a boy band, Monica?
No, I was making fun of my niece one day because we were in the early 90s. We were at Walmart and she was buying a Backstreet Boys CD.
Sure.
And I was like giving her shit, like, how can you listen to this stuff? And then one morning I woke up and MTV played videos and I saw
She's dating herself now.
Hey, Troy.
And I went, who is that guy?
Oh my God, he's so hot.
And then I was hooked.
And then it was in. Connor's in the house. Connor, how do you feel about boy bands? 90s boy bands, mind you.
I was into the R&B boy bands, like Velvet DeVoe.
That's before my
Poison.
time. Poison wasn't a boy band. They were hair metal.
Oh, no.
No, that
was
song.
The song was
Yeah.
Poison.
With their stupid shorts and their matching.
Well, that was the style. That was the
You
style.
can't blame that.
You can't blame them for that. That's what they had, man. You work with what you have, Connor. Am I right? And if you're into boy bands, it's fine. Nobody cares.
Velvet DeVoe.
I am not. I think technically the Beatles were a boy band
Yeah.
for a while. I wasn't into them either. Nothing's really coming to mind. Really, I can't. No, I caught the tail end of the New Kids on the Block, and I was like, chicks love these guys.
Gross.
Whatever.
They
And
were so ugly.
I'm only 22, so I don't know. Oh, come on, Connor. Connor, you're gonna tell me you never heard of the Backstreet Boys?
Now we're really dating ourselves.
I know. 22 and she's never heard of any of these.
Listen, we are anxious.
Well, what do you got? The Jonas Brothers, they're a boy band, right? What is Bieber? He's not a band, but he's a boy. He was a boy.
98 degrees? Or no, that's still.
That's still 90s. We're
Yeah.
talking 90s. So
98 degrees. They were a rival. Oh, NSYNC was
NSYNC,
Backstreet Boys
yeah.
rival. Even though two of these guys started in this movie.
Yeah. Like a lot of these guys were from rival boy
Yeah,
bands.
that was pretty cool.
But they're interchangeable, really. NSYNC, that you know what we're talking about, Troy.
Yeah.
No, the Beatles were not a boy band, dude. Well, a little bit though. Any group of young men that can, I like the Backstreet Boys. See, Connor knows. Any group of young men that can bring 16-year-old girls to tears during their performance, I feel like that should qualify.
Okay, well, that's Motley Crue
Brought who to tears?
Nikki Sixx.
Okay, all right. I love the Jonas. All right then. Well, we can't really go by what she says,
If
though.
you say that, then all bands with boys are boys.
Okay, let's go back to non-instrumental.
Oh, who else? I don't know. I guess no.
You had all those guys.
Yeah, the Beach Boys,
Yeah,
right?
I'm saying
They
you
would.
could play in-
Yeah. I don't know, man. Musically, I feel like they're like.
Milli Vanilli.
They're not even a band. They're not even a band, sir. They're just they're like an interpretive dance type of a deal. I also like NSYNC. See, Connor knows what I'm talking
You
about.
like this? I had a messed up of what Backstreet Boys was going to beat up because I hate it. I hate Justin Timberlake.
Oh, wow.
Now we're getting into like
Great.
brand loyalty all of a sudden with the boy band. You're out there. I agree, Troy. She is out there. I assume you're talking about Monica. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So let me ask you this before we go any further. When it comes to the female fanboyism with the boy bands, every girl has their favorite, right? So you were a Backstreet Boys girl.
Yes.
Which guy was your guy?
Well, I started out with Howie D. I loved Howie D.
Okay.
perfect.
Was he in this movie?
Yes, he was.
Who was he?
He was the short little guy that had the.
He wasn't even one of the 7, was he?
Yes, he was. He was the one wearing.
The vaquero, the sniper,
Not the sniper. Oh god.
the short guy with the bandana.
Yeah.
With the
Oh,
bandana. That,
what was his name?
you're not-
Well, when you describe him.
I can run you down a list of the 7.
And then I liked Brian.
Was Brian in this movie?
No, he wasn't. No, he was not.
Okay.
But Nick Carter starred in the movie.
Jack. Okay.
Right.
He was your guy. Did you like his brother Aaron at all? Okay.
Fuck that
All right.
guy. I
Yeah.
beat the shit out of
That guy's
guy.
crazy. He have you seen him lately?
Yes, have you seen
He
him?
got-
Did?
Yeah, he got. Did he get the face tattoo?
Yes, he did.
Oh, he's fucking crazy. Who picked this movie?
I did not pick this
She picked it.
movie.
Okay.
This movie was on the list.
It was, we were provided a list by Tony, who paid for this month, by the way, and this movie was on the list. We gave Monica first pick, and she said Dead 7. All right, let's do a goddamn podcast. Let's get into this shit show. You know what, man? I mean, obviously these guys' careers are not
Great.
they're non-existent for the most part. So I mean,
No,
that
the Backstreet Boys are still out there.
doing what?
They're
Are they really?
Vegas, yeah.
But bar mitzvahs, and they have a CD.
Mhm.
There you have it. A CD is out there.
They are out there.
If anybody out there still owns a CD player, not available on MP3. You have to actually.
Finals where it's
You
at.
what you got to do is shoot one of them a tweet, send them cash, and they will send you a burned CD of their latest. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's right, inmates. We're talking about Dead 7. It's a sci-fi original picture. Now, hey, Johnny. Now, let's not get all butthurt about the fact that it's a sci-fi. Okay. Yeah, set your standards where they should be for a sci-fi original film, because whatever you're expecting, that's what you're going to get here. Zero nudity. You get a decent helping of the gore, but it's all bargain basement CGI. So be prepared for that. With some pretty ridiculous writing, but
Oh yeah.
I got a little bonus I'm going to throw at you right now, and it starts with the cast. Now, I know some of you know these names, whether or not you choose to admit that. This is Dead 7 starring Joey Fatone.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, all right. AJ McClain.
He's from Backstreet.
You know the name. You know the motherfucking
He's
name.
the bad boy.
Well, he was the bad boy. And Nick Carter. Nick Carter. Act like you don't know. Act like you don't know right now. I got you, motherfuckers. That's right. This entire the majority of this cast and crew, 90s boy bands. Okay.
Hey, Nick Carter used to hang with Tommy Lee. They used to be best buds. So there you go.
Wow. Didn't see that one coming.
He's got the ticket right there.
Tommy Lee should be put in jail for child endangerment if that is true, because Nick Carter couldn't have been a day over 12 while this was going
Oh
on.
my God, he's like 40.
Now,
Yeah, now.
Tommy Lee's in his mid to late 60s, easily in his mid to late 60s. He's still got a dong the size of my truck, though. So
There's that.
God bless him. God bless him for that. Hey, Jamie's in the house.
Hey.
So that's what we're doing here, kids. This is a Western zombie movie, post-apocalyptic. Entire cast, well, majority of the main cast here is comprised of former 90s boy band members. We're talking about the Backstreet Boys, talking about NSYNC. We even had a cameo appearance from a dude from Crazy Town. Remember Crazy Town?
Mm-hmm.
Butterfly, you're my sugar baby. Come, my lady, you're my butterfly. He's only in it for I don't think he even had any lines. He just showed up and got killed. I recognized that guy, not from the band, but from Celebrity Rehab.
Yes.
Celebrity Rehab, which is probably better than anything Crazy Town ever put out, ever. All right, then. So our movie starts off. Now this is a Western. We're here in Western month in the padded room, courtesy of Tony. So this is actually a post-apocalyptic western. Okay, so we start off with this pretext and this long monologue about how world resources ran out and then society crumbled and then zombies started popping up. They don't call them zombies though. Interestingly enough, they call them copperheads,
Yeah.
which I found to be a nice touch considering we're in the Western arena of things. And there's one individual out there that is like she somehow managed to like control the goddamn zombies, copperheads, somewhat.
Michonne.
More or less, yeah. I mean, she's very close to Michonne. Well, there's another Michonne that comes later in the movie. But this one, though, is like a voodoo queen type of deal. And you can tell that because she's got a lot of facial tattoos. She is African American, and she's got her head shaved, and she carries a big staff, and she wears a robe. So she's very much like a Michonne type of character. Scary, very scary.
Oh yeah.
Don't want to tangle with her. All tatted up. Goes by the name Apocalypta, which is kind of cute, I think. So Apocalypta has herself like a post-apocalyptic Mad Max style army. Well, not really an army. She's got like 4 or 5 guys, but because she's learned to control the copperheads, she can like maneuver the zombies to do her bidding, which is pretty cool. So now we're going to cut to Harper's Junction, which apparently is some kind of a settlement, post-apocalyptic settlement, where people are trying to survive, and they have like it's like an old west kind of a town. They've got a this is not tragic, Troy. These young men are trying to make names for themselves post boy band. So I feel like this is a good start somehow. Regardless, I don't know why I'm arguing on their behalf all of a sudden, but they've got like a settlement in their, it's like an old west town. And we're going to meet one of our main characters here, a guy by the name of Billy. Now, I don't know was Billy in a boy band? Does anybody know? I don't think he was.
Which one was Billy? There were so many.
He was the one that looked like he should be delivering papers on the back of a bicycle. Billy is he's got a backwards American flag hat, white t-shirt, mysterious bicep strap that doesn't come off, even during sex. So I don't know what's going on with Billy, but he shows up, and apparently he's got a job fixing motorcycles because that's all he appears to do. Now, while Billy is showing up to Harper's Junction, we're going to cut across the valley or whatever to a couple of dudes that are maneuvering a big parade of zombies towards Harper's Junction. And we're going to meet these clowns. We've got a guy by the name of Johnny Vermillion, which is a pretty kick-ass Western name, if you ask me, played by A.J. McClain. How would you put him on your bangability scale?
No,
Monica, no, not.
I don't want to bang it.
You were never into AJ, but he was the bad boy, wasn't he? Okay.
Yeah, but
He wasn't cute, is the thing. All right. Well, I mean, he's not cute in this movie, although he is a bit of a psycho in this one. He's got like a kind of a Quan Chi thing going on. If any of you guys play Mortal Kombat, he's got like the white, and he's got like some weird face paint and a weird eyes, kind of doing like a Clockwork Orange type of a deal with the wife beater and the bowler hat, and he does a lot of cackling, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna kill some people. Come on, zombies, follow me." So they're all following him to Harper's Junction, and then we get a big attack of zombies on Harper's Junction. Billy kind of escapes, and then we meet Billy's girlfriend. She's number 2 of the 7, young lady by the name of Daisy Jane, played by Carrie Keegan. I don't know where the fuck they found her, but I would like to go there because goddamn, man, I like everything about Carrie Keegan, especially the way she looks in a wife beater, which is that's what she's going to be wearing for the entirety of this movie. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's a Western kind of a deal. And there's people, these copperhead zombies are coming into Harper's Junction. Billy and Daisy manage to shoot their way out. The sheriff doesn't even wake up for any of this. He sleeps right through his own death as the copperheads come in and chew his face completely off. Well done. So they manage to make their big escape. They go to the next town over, which is Desert Springs. They get to Desert Springs, which apparently the Apocalypta tribe of Copperheads has yet to be able to crack the egg of Desert Springs. They keep attacking and they keep fighting them off. And the majority of the reason of that has to do with their sheriff, a guy by the name of Cooper. Anybody recognize their sheriff? John Cicada, another 90s,
Oh, that's right.
another 90s pop star. He wasn't part of a boy band, but he was a pop star.
I don't even know what he
If you go, say goodbye. That's it. There's more to that song. That's all I remember, though. But he had a hit or two in the 90s, and he's now playing the sheriff of Desert Springs. He's got these big, stupid mutton chops on him. They look wildly out of place on him.
Oh, man.
I don't know what the point of those were, but they're stupid looking. He's the sheriff. He's also got like an orphan kid. And during the attack of Harper's Junction, they actually managed to apprehend Johnny Vermillion. I know this is confusing, Sven and Connor, and believe me, I was just as confused as you are watching this movie, and I am breaking my fucking back over here trying to explain it to you. But hang out with me. It's going to get better, sort of. So that's cool. They managed to actually capture Johnny Vermillion, who is Apocalypta's lieutenant. So like, we got you now, you fucker. They take him back to the jail there at Desert Springs, and he's crazy, and he's cackling at him. And they're like, we're going to hang you at sunrise. Why wait till sunrise?
Right.
You got him in your cell. But better yet, why hang him? Why don't you just shoot him in the fucking head right now and get it over with? No, he hangs at sunrise because, you know. So now we cut back to Apocalypta's weird cult fortress statue that she lives in. And she's like, go get Johnny right now. Bust him out of there. So she sends one of her little ass clowns, who I assume was also in a boy band, to break Johnny out. Come to find out, the jail that they're holding him in is basically made out of particle board. It's like 3 whacks with a ball peen hammer, and he's out of there. So that's what happens. Johnny gets out. He manages to infect the adopted son of Sheriff Cooper with the copperhead infection, i.e. zombie virus. Interesting. While that's going on, the mayor of Desert Springs goes to Cooper, and he's like, Johnny busted out. We got to kill him before he gets back to Apocalypta. Round up the craziest motherfuckers you can find and go up to the mountain and kill her. Kill him, kill everybody. I don't fucking care. So John Cicada's like, all right, I don't know. Now we're going to meet our quote-unquote dead 7. So we already have number 1. That's Billy. Number 2, his girlfriend, Daisy Jane, smoking hot. Now we're going to meet number 3. And we get like a very Tarantino-esque introductory video game phase where we meet all these characters and they've got numbers and everything. Number 3, my personal favorite, Whiskey Joe.
Yeah, he was
Played by Joey Fatone. Woo! Whiskey Joe, right? Or was it Jack? Hold on, I wrote it down. I got Whiskey Joe. I'm pretty sure it's Whiskey Joe. That could just be mine. I don't know. No, Jack was Nick Carter, and we won't be.
Yeah.
He's number 7. So this is Whiskey Joe. He's like the wild man of the bunch. He's drunk and he's playing cards with 2 other guys that look like they probably were in boy bands, and they accuse him of cheating, and then he, of course, kicks the shit out of both of them. Was it just me, or is Whiskey Joe the Red Queen's husband? Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think so, my dears. I know none of you guys know who the hell we're talking about, but it's an inside thing. Anyway, so played by Joey Fatone. He's crazy, and he's drunk all the time, and he's playing cards. Apparently, currency in this weird post-apocalyptic.
Oh, God, is the Red Queen.
No.
Yeah.
No. No.
Absolutely.
You're insane. I think that the currency is like zombie teeth, or copperhead teeth. Apparently, they carry some kind of monetary value in this weird society that we're in all of a sudden. Excellent. So he kicks the shit out of those 2. Cooper goes and recruits Whiskey Joe right after that while he's vomiting in the alley. You guys make me want to smoke marijuana. I have that effect. I have that effect on women, Connor. It's not them. It's me. It's totally me. Anyway, if you're gonna get high and watch Dead Seven.
Absolutely.
I'm sure this will make complete sense to
It'll
you
be a good time for you.
because I'm still lost. And anyway, so that's pretty cool. So they recruit Whiskey Joe, and they're like, "We need more crazy fuckers like you to kill this prick." So he comes up with a couple of names. First name he comes up with is a crazy Hispanic guy that calls himself the Vaquero, or he's like the sniper of the team. He's got a big high power rifle, and he can, he uses his sniper rifle in some very strange ways. Regardless, he was in a boy band too, that guy, right? Who was that guy?
Let me see.
Was that I'm sure he was. He's one of the main characters. So they go and recruit the Vaquero. He's now on the team. And they're like, we need more crazy fuckers. So the Vaquero recommends another guy. We need like a nice dusting.
Oh, that's Howie D.
Oh, okay. You wanted to have sex with him too, right?
Yeah, but he was too short.
He's too short?
He's too short for me.
You don't know that. You've never stood next to him, I don't think.
5'7" is too short for me.
What is your cutoff point for dudes you want to have sex
Well,
with?
you're
5'6".
just saying that.
You got to be at
You
least.
don't have to be my height. You gotta be 5'9" or we can't do it.
I'm out. I'm 5'6" and a half, and she towers over me. Oh, sorry, sweet. He doesn't. He does look rather short, actually.
Yeah, he's a little guy.
All right. Well, sorry, Howie D. I don't know. Maybe you get some big boots or something. If you're interested, whatever. So that's fun. Now they need another crazy prick. So Vaquero recommends another dude, another Hispanic guy that I think we're supposed to believe is Asian, although he is clearly not. Dude calls himself the Komodo.
Yeah, he was also in a boy band.
The Komodo was? That's Eric Estrada's son, Eric Michael Estrada. Which boy band was he in?
He was in, let me see, O-Town.
O-Town.
I didn't listen to that.
I don't even know what
I
that
think
is.
that was a band P. Diddy put together on MTV.
God.
I think.
Stop it. I'm extremely short. Well, I'm sorry, Connor. You can't have sex with Monica either. She doesn't like short.
Oh.
That dude, he was in the movie.
Yeah, he is in 98 Degrees.
That's Billy?
Yes.
Okay, Jeff Timmons, who played Billy,
And
is in 98
this is
Degrees.
Also the singer of Everclear.
Oh, he got killed. He got killed quick.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I'm sure the rest of those people.
Yes.
Carrie Keegan, man, I want to know more about that. Did she do any hardcore pornography? 'Cause
I'll
I'm-
look it up for
Okay,
you.
we're gonna get back to you on the hardcore pornography of Carrie Keegan, if such a thing exists. I'm very excited about that. If that's even a possibility, I don't know. Anyway, so now we have our ninja of the group, guy by the name of Komodo, played by Eric Michael Estrada of O-Town, Eric Estrada's son from Chips. He's clearly Hispanic. I guess we're just going to write him off as Asian for the purposes of this movie. It's fine, whatever. He's got a couple of samurai swords on him, and he can rough some people up. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our Dead 7. And we're going to ride out the next day. So we're taking a day here at Desert Springs to party it up. The sheriff clears out the bar, but the lead singer of Everclear is like, this is a public place. I'll stay here if I want to, you fucker. My 4'9" makes me adorable. Connor's only 4'9".
Wow.
Connor, she won't even let you ride in the car with her. So if you're thinking you're going to have sex with Monica at 4'9", no way.
Well, I need to see what Connor looks like.
She's a female. She's a lady. So Connor, I, on the other hand, do not discriminate.
You don't really have to get that.
And unsubscribe. You creepy fuck. All right, anyway, back to the boy band.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. So they're partying up. The lead singer of Everclear gets all pissy with John Cicada, but then he gets kicked out of the bar anyway. John Cicada's like, okay, party it up. We ride out in the morning. So he takes off, goes back to his house where he finds his adopted son has been infected with the copperhead virus, thusly bites John Cicada. About that time, Johnny Vermillion is rolling another group of zombies into town. So here comes a zombie death wave on the bar where everybody's partying it up. And then here comes John Cicada, you think to save the day, but he's a zombie too. Our 5 maniacs / heroes have to battle their way out of this bar fight. Make a long story short, Joey Fatone makes himself a Molotov cocktail and lights the place on fire, which allows them to escape, and that sucks. But in the context of this, we learned that Daisy May had some kind of a thing with Billy's brother, older brother, guy by the name of Jack, played by the Nick Carter. So she sent him a letter a couple of days previous saying, hey, we really need your help in taking down Apocalyptica because she's going to wreck the whole town. And he's like the loner that doesn't, he lives on the outskirts and plays by his own rules. And he's like some kind of a fucking, and he apparently, I'm pretty sure he had sex with Daisy May at one point. Otherwise, this wouldn't be nearly as tense for Billy and Daisy. We get a post-coitus scene with Billy and Daisy. I think they had sex. I like to think that they had sex. Interesting point, though. Billy still has his Bizarro bicep strap on. While what is that? What's the point of that? Have any of you guys ever donned a bicep strap? If so, I would like to know what the point of that is. Is it just to say, hey, don't look at my bicep? Or
I don't know.
I don't know either, but he didn't take it off while he was banging around with that hot Carrie Keegan.
Is it to make it look bigger?
Well, I mean, you would think it would make it look smaller because it was a big strap, man. It was like a big leather thing. I don't know. I don't really care now that I think about it. So the next day rolls around. Our dead 5 at this point decide they're going to ride out. Just as they do, Jack shows up and he's like, hey, I heard you guys need some help. And Billy's like, don't trust him, Daisy. He's a piece of shit. And she's like, we need his help, man. And then they start talking about, we need somebody that can get us up the mountain, that knows the ways of the mountain and can track the copperheads. And there's a mysterious figure that might be able to do it. Some kind of a native girl named Serena. But you don't find her. She finds you. Think about that. Think about that. That's some scary shit right there. All right, so off they go, and they're headed up the mountain to kill Apocalypta, and everything's pretty cool there for a minute or two. Let's stop talking about sex. We probably should. We should probably stop talking about sex, Connor, and stick to the horror stuff. So off the mountain they go. Now, before they leave, though, Komodo strikes up a bizarro relationship with, I believe, one of the town prostitutes. Screaming hot young lady. Don't recall her name. I'm pretty sure she's a porn star, though. But he's like all in love with her, and they're making out and stuff. And she's like, hey, you guys get in trouble out there, go find my friend's establishment. She'll take care of you. She's got a stockpile of food and weapon and girls and all kinds of stuff. How many pounds did everyone gain over Thanksgiving?
Probably about 50.
3.5 for me, Jim. It was a bad one. Regardless, they get up there. They wake up the next morning. Everything's cool for the first day. They wake up the next morning. Komodo wakes up and he's like doing the staring off at the horizon bit. And he wakes up Vaquero and Whiskey Joe. And he's like, come on, guys, we're going to take a little detour here. So off they go to this other establishment. It's a brothel. It's a weirdly out of place brothel that seems to be sitting in the middle of the woods. I don't know what kind of business they get there, or how anybody even finds this place to do business with them, but it's a brothel in the middle of the woods. So they go in there, and Komodo's like, they're all poking around, looking at chicks and stuff. Komodo finds his girlfriend there. Apparently she has a weekend job as a prostitute, which is very exciting. And Vaquero gets led down to the basement by the madam. Whiskey Joe takes off with another prostitute. Now we're going to get some interesting plot points here. Number one, Whiskey Joe has some kind of an explosive device tied to his waist that is filled with blood, and it looks like a little flask. And the purpose of this is that if he turns into a copperhead, he's going to immediately reach for the flask, pull the pin on the explosive, and blow himself up. Okay, clearly that's going to come into play later, or we wouldn't have even known about that, right? Vaquero gets led down to the bottom of the the basement of the place. And there we find out that the prostitutes have a copperhead chained up, and they basically feed Vaquero to the copperhead there.
Real matter.
And now he's bit, and that sucks. But then he goes taking off, screaming, "Oh my God! It's a trap! It's a trap!" All the girls suddenly are brandishing weapons and chasing our three heroes out of the place. So that really sucks. But they get out of there. Unfortunately, Vaquero has been bit by a copperhead, and thus he is now on his way to zombiehood. They get outside. We find out that Komodo's girlfriend didn't know anything about this, but Whiskey Joe has to put Vaquero down, which is very sad. And did you notice that Whiskey Joe had a sawed-off shotgun with a knife taped to the barrel?
Yeah.
That's an interesting move. I don't know that I'd go that route, but good. I mean, good for him.
When you're out of bullets.
Whatever you got to do, I don't think that's actually going to work. I don't think the physics support that, but if for whatever you got to do there. So that's interesting. That sucks. And our group is now split up. So the other group, which is now waking up and realizing that half the team is gone, comprises of Billy, Jack, and Daisy Jane. Now, this could have been one hell of a porno at this point. Unfortunately, this is a sci-fi original picture, so we are not going to get that. We're going to go into a much sillier direction. I'm sorry. So they're headed up the hill. Now we're going to start getting glimpses of this mysterious Serena young lady. Picture Sindel from Mortal Kombat. I think that's probably the best comparison that I can make. Native American, bone white hair with like purple streaks in it, because somehow that makes sense. Weird like 80s glam paint and wearing a lot of animal skins. She's walking around with two like wheat sickles. You know what I'm talking about? Like farmers use. And she can wield these things with expert proficiency and, do ninja moves and flip kicks with them and stuff. Excellent. First place they come, they're like, well, fuck those guys. We got to carry out our mission anyway.
That's Nick Carter's wife.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him. Good, damn it. Yes, I like that. If you were in a boy band, you should have an extremely hot wife who's hopefully 20 to 30 years younger than you. You should. I feel like you should. It's part of the natural order of things. Regardless, they get up there, and the first thing they come to is like a fenced-off area with a bunch of copperheads in it. And Billy's like, let's just pick them all off. And they're like, we don't have enough bullets, so fuck. I'm like, all right, well, we'll just go around them then. So they go around them, and from there we get to this weird dead guy in the woods, and we find out that Serena has given him a sky burial, which is apparently some kind of a high honor in her society of whatever. So that's exciting. We see all the vultures come out, and they're picking this dude apart. And then we finally get up to the big statue area, which is where the Apocalypse is with all of her minions and Johnny Vermillion. Between here and there, we're going to get a pretty unnecessary scene of Johnny Vermillion going up to Apocalypta with another dude, and he's like, hey, we got a volunteer. And if you're paying attention, you'll recognize this dude as Shifty Shellshock, the lead singer of Crazy Town. I don't know if you'd call them a boy band, but I felt like they really, really wanted to be a boy band. I know Shifty Shellshock from Celebrity Rehab.
Yeah.
That's where he did his best work, I feel. Having complete meltdowns and trying to fuck porn stars. Regardless, Apocalypse is like, I don't like this guy, and just slits his throat. And that is the end of Shifty Shellshock's acting career.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Shifty Shellshock's acting career. So that sucks, man. But the good news, though, is that while they're going up, they see all the copperheads coming down. So they're like, oh, fuck. We don't have time to get to Apocalypta. We got to get back to Desert Springs to hopefully protect them from this big onslaught of all this horse shit. So they're hauling ass back down there. About halfway down there, Johnny Vermillion, who is standing about 3 feet away from our party, sneaks up on in broad daylight while he's painted bone white and captures Billy. That part was pretty fucking stupid, if you ask me. Mind you, this dude looks like Quan Chi from Mortal Kombat 11, and this is broad daylight. They walk right past him. He's standing right there on the trail, this was, I mean,
Next to a tree.
I get what they're doing here, but they could have shot this a little bit better
Yeah.
to make it a little more convincing. He just kind of does like a tap on Billy's shoulder and then grabs him, and then now Billy's in a cage. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The parole officer's in the house. Good news, parole officer. The shirt has stayed on thus far. Oh, go fuck yourself, parole officer.
I'm not very happy with parole.
I'm not very happy either with that last remark, sir. How dare you talk of Seahawks in this house? Regardless, so now Billy is caught. He's apprehended, and he's being held in a cage in Apocalypta's weird statue fortress. So Jack and what's her name, Daisy May, have a little more sexual tension, and then they decide to go rescue Billy. They get to Billy's holding area, and then Johnny Vermillion pops out and kills Daisy May and drags her off, and Billy gets to watch her get eaten by zombies. I mean,
That sucks.
we knew that was going to happen. She's way
Yeah.
too hot to live and see the
I
end of
didn't
this
think
movie.
she was gonna get killed. She was a badass.
I know, but she's too hot. The hot ones never make it to the end credits. I mean, I'm not saying that what's her name, Serena wasn't hot, but she was no Daisy May. I have to tell you that. Regardless, so that happens. Billy or Jack gets there just in time to cut Billy free, and he's like, "I want revenge, motherfucker!" And he's like, "Okay, let's go back to Desert Springs. That's where Johnny Vermillion and the rest of the assholes are. We got to defend the town, and you can have your revenge down there." Okay. Haul ass back down to Desert Springs just as the B team is getting there, which at this point is just Komodo and Whiskey Joe and Komodo's prostitute girlfriend. They get there, they cut the heads off a bunch of zombies, there's a big bunch of shooting and explosions. Everything's cool. Jack gets himself into a kind of like a sword fight, like spear fight type of a thing with Apocalypta. She gets the better of him, actually, bites him in the neck. Billy gets killed. I'm just glazing over this. And one of the main problems I have with sci-fi original pictures is their love of the shaky cam, which makes me nauseous.
Yeah.
And it's cheap filmmaking. It's like, okay, we have to shoot an action sequence.
It's not going to look realistic unless they shake.
Okay, just shake the shit out of the camera. And I don't know, maybe we can confuse people into thinking somebody's getting their ass kicked. Okay, here we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know, man. I don't understand that method of filmmaking, but somehow that's what they're doing. Someone make me chocolate chip pancakes. That sounds pretty good, Connor.
Mm-hmm.
I like myself some chocolate chip pancakes. Regardless, I gotta quit saying regardless. Getting back to my point. Make a long story short, Whiskey Joe gets eaten by zombies, blows himself up with his stupid waste projectile flask explosive device.
Yeah,
Which, by the
a zombie, like whiskey.
well, he put blood in there. But did you notice that, like, the point of this is that it's basically a grenade, right?
Right.
So you remove it from the belt, you pull it, and then that pulls the pin on the grenade and blows you up and everybody around you. I get that part. The problem is whoever designed this little special effect made the cord way too long.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Oh, yeah.
Because he pulls it out and he's like, "Okay, I'm going to take a drink. I can still drink this." So he's like, "Okay, I'm going to take it. I can still do this." Okay, let me just throw it out there a little bit further. He was struggling to get that pin loose. Well done, Joey Fatone. You had to sell the shit out of that one, sir. But regardless, Whiskey Joe blows himself up. Komodo's girlfriend gets bitten, and then he goes full samurai, kills a bunch of guys, and then decides to start making out with his girlfriend, which of course leads her to bite half his face off, and now he's been bitten. So he's going to go full Hakaguri on us and fall on his own sword. I like that. It's a nice little touch. Billy got taken down by the zombies, which led Jack to the fist fight, sort of fist fight, sword fight thing with Apocalypta, which he lost because she bit his neck open. And then while that was happening, Serena kind of snuck up on her and killed her with the weird sickle scythe thing.
Thank God.
And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the end of your movie. And then Serena gives Jack the sky burial because that's a high honor. And that's pretty much the end of your movie right there, right?
Yeah,
One survivor. It was Serena. who was the last of the dead seven. So I did not mind this movie at all. I thought it was fun. I know. Go ahead and make fun of me too. It was not okay. This is a sci-fi original picture. Okay, set your standards accordingly. A sci-fi original picture starring nothing but 90s boy band
Even
members.
lower.
It was
Okay.
better than the Kiss movie.
What was the Kiss movie?
You remember that from
Which
the
one?
70s?
I never
At
watched
the
it.
amusement park.
I vaguely
Like
remember
Ace Frehley had powers with
it. The scar. Yeah, he
Come on.
They were like superheroes all of a sudden,
Yeah.
right? He's like, Star Child, save the child on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, this was much better.
This was, I'll give you that. I remember bits and pieces of that. I'm sure I've seen it, but I don't remember anything else. I had fun with it, man. If you can see past the horrible CGI and you get a shit ton of it because it's a sci-fi original picture.
And terrible lines.
Acting I didn't think was that bad.
And
What is your problem now?
it was horrible.
It wasn't that bad. It was not that bad,
I
sir.
watched this 3 times
Oh my
now.
God.
I don't know that I'd go that far. I'm not going to watch this again.
No, I'm not.
I personally enjoyed the scenes where the heads were blown off. It wasn't that
See,
It
bad.
reminds me of a video game.
That's
It wasn't that
if I
bad.
had one major gripe to make with this movie, it's the bad CGI. The part where Joey Fatone's intestines are hanging out,
Oh, yeah.
that was bad. No.
You could get away with it.
I love my cat Bellatrix. She even has extra toes on her front paws. I feel like we've lost Connor. Connor, I don't know what you're doing now, but it sounds like you're having more fun than we are. So enjoy. By all means, keep us updated on your cat with the weird toes. The CGI in this movie is god awful. But that's what you got to come to expect in a sci-fi original picture. So go into this knowing it's a sci-fi original movie, knowing that it is cast entirely of 90s boy band members. And dude, I'll be honest with you. Going into last night when I watched this for the first time, I was dreading this. I was like, "Oh fuck! It's a sci-fi original movie with
This
boy
movie
bands."
did not suck.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, we've definitely seen worse here in the padded room, my friends. Point two, what do you think is worse, buddy? Chillerama or this?
Oh.
Chillerama. Chillerama's way worse than this.
Oh my
Still Runner had better graphics.
No.
Okay, I don't think Buddy's ever watched Thanksgiving.
No.
Have you ever watched
Or
that?
Beaster Day.
Okay.
Beaster Day is pretty bad. And there is some shit storms out there in Maine.
There's a reason why I haven't seen those.
Oh, come on. Come on now. This one's not that bad. I'm going to recommend this. Get yourself some chocolate chip pancakes and get high and check out Dead 7. It's on Amazon Prime right now. You can watch it for free if you have Amazon Prime. It's not bad. Boy band movie. Oh, come on.
Whatever.
Hey, parole officer. Let's not get weird.
Yeah. You even listen to the Backstreet Boys, so I just shared your secrets.
Ooh.
Oh.
Now the dirt comes out. I couldn't still. See, Connor couldn't even finish Chillerama. Because it's bad.
It's terrible.
Connor knows. Connor, you know how bad that shit was. I'm with Connor on this one. Chocolate chip pancakes. Don't watch Chillerama. I'm allergic to cats, so none of that shit. But other than that, Connor, I'm on your team. I say give it a chance. Just set your standards extremely low.
Extremely low.
Other than that, just have fun with it. I didn't think it was that bad.
This movie is better than the Toxic Avenger. Yeah.
No, I like
Because
Toxic
that
Avenger.
one was ridiculous. And the costume was hideous.
That one had boobies. No boobies in this one.
But
And that's a
you had
problem.
hot chick with hot boobs. And she had some nice arms.
She had some
I
nice.
was really impressed.
The prostitute girlfriend. I wouldn't mind seeing her do a sex tape somehow, somewhere, with somebody. I don't care who, make girl or girl. I don't care, whatever she wants to do. All right, inmates. I say give Dead 7 a chance. It's not that bad. Yeah, our buddy hated it, obviously.
Mhm.
This was Monica's pick. Tony liked it. He picked it.
Mhm.
So other than that, I say give it a chance. We're going to take us a little break. We'll come back.